It's training camp season. Today we're looking at the Dallas Cowboys and getting a good look at Javonte Williams. We're going to watch him work through some drills, run the rock, everything else. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're looking at training camp every day. We're looking at what your players are doing behind the scenes. We're looking at your rookies, your position battles, and what your players are going to do for a fantasy football team because you're drafting them here soon. You want to know what they're doing behind the scenes. It's right here. Click that button. Stop missing out. And Javonte Williams is a player you're going to be looking at in your drafts. And I got all the clips from training camp right here. We're going to loop this and keep talking ball. Almost 4 minutes of clips. 3 minutes and 46 seconds. Here we go. There we go. I apologize. I got allergies. It's early morning. We're rolling. We're rolling. Boom. Find the hole. Find the hole. And he's been looking good on the clips I've seen. All the clips I've seen, he's been looking solid. From what I've read, like late July, early August, Shoddy was talking about the players that were stepping up in camp. At that time, when they were healthy too, Miles Sanders, Jaydon Blue was mentioned, along with Javonte Williams. Later on down the road, Phil Mafa was getting mentioned. Javonte Williams is a running back that was on the come up early in his career, had a setback last year. He wasn't as efficient as we liked with the Broncos. But you just get back to where he was during his younger days with the Broncos, and you might catch yourself a running back on a deal. You might catch yourself a running back that can help you out. Miles Sanders came back to practice yesterday. He's been out for a little bit. It feels like forever because you're watching camp practice every day. Jaydon Blue was not back yesterday. There is a rumor. I'll call it a rumor. It was written on one of the sites or something that he might be back for Saturday's game. We'll see. We'll see about that. Phil Mafa has looked good to me in practice. Feet, contact balance. Watch. Ooh, you see that spin there? His feet's looking solid. That feet and contact balance of Javonte Williams right there. This is what we saw during that rookie season in year 2 of him. Patience to the line. Cutting back with some authority. Coming there, we're stretching it, cutting back. His vision's good. His approach is good. He's got good patience. His feet's got good balance to it. Slipping out there. Getting it. Uh-oh. Fumble. We're putting it on the turf. Putting it on the turf. That was somewhere in July, that clip was. You're watching Javonte Williams. All in all, the big question here is which running back's going to step up in season. All the running backs seem like they've had their moments throughout training camp. Miles Sanders has had some nice runs. Javonte Williams, as we've seen here, has had some nice runs. Jaydon Blue has been very explosive. We just got to get right from that injury, which sounds like we will sooner than later. Phil Mafa, we covered his clips last week. He can chain together moves, but the other running backs were getting a boatload of the touches and the reps, especially with the ones and the twos. Javonte Williams, by default, he's your guy with Jaydon Blue being out. Miles Sanders just now coming back. We're deep into training camp. We're about to get into our second preseason game. He hasn't been bad. I wouldn't be surprised you see multiple running backs. I wouldn't be surprised to see 3 or 4 of them this year get opportunities throughout the season. The big question everybody has with this team is the offensive line. Guyton, from what I understand, has the chance to be back early in the season. There's a chance for week 1. Wouldn't be surprised if it's later than that, though. There's a chance from what I'm reading, but more than likely not, but I don't know. I'm just trying to read the tea leaves, but it's sooner than later. That's the best way to say it. Like, there's no specific date. There's a fight for it, but I don't know. My gut's saying that it might be past it. That's encouraging. They were 19th in run block grade last year per PFF for what that matters. Rico Dowdle ran well. They added Tyler Booker. I think he's going to be on this team for pushing a decade or more. Let's just say that, pushing a decade or more. I think he's going to be on this team for a long time. I think he's a great addition. Still going to be a rookie, though. Javonte Williams. The what if with him is, can we revert back to the early stage of his career when he was looking like the next big thing for the Broncos? Can we revert back to that? Because if we can do that, then this could be a huge steal for the Cowboys. Now, looking at Miles Sanders, from looking at his history in the league, especially with the Panthers, he always looks good in training camp. Then we get in season, and it's not as advertised. You definitely saw that with the Panthers last year. It got to a point where Canales was talking about splitting reps with him and Chuba, and Canales really wanted to split reps with running backs, and he was talking about that in season. Then after week 1, because there was more of a split between the two, it was the Chuba show. Part of that is Chuba was playing really well. Ironically, they brought in Rico Dowdle, and they drafted another running back due to the Brooks injury, but still, they want to use 2 running backs. And they were not able to use Miles Sanders to the degree they wanted to. However, you're looking at what they got here with Miles Sanders. Can you revert back to the promise we saw early in his career? Because he's very sudden, very shifty. Jaydon Blue has been working hard. When you watch Jaydon Blue carry the rock in practice, he's carrying it high and tight through the hole. You can definitely see a difference between him and the other running backs when it comes to speed, explosiveness. He had that deep one-handed catch downfield earlier in training camp. The injury feels like it's forever, but honestly, he hasn't been out that long. But this is a crucial time for a rookie, this stage of training camp. But I believe this is going to be a season where all these running backs are going to get opportunities. Like, they're going to get opportunities out there on the field. If Javonte Williams can revert back to those first couple years with the Broncos, then you could have yourselves a running back here that surprised you, gets you by enough, because you got George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, that's enough to get it done. You just need okay production. You need to be able to get a little bit more than expected. You don't have to be Bijan Robinson. You don't have to be Saquon Barkley out there. Just find the hole, get to it, get 4 to 5 yards per carry. Allow this team get a good down and distance. Let those wide receivers cook. Let the passing game cook. So they're not playing 2nd and long, 3rd and long too often. That's really all you need to do. You don't have to be a top fantasy football back. Now, if you're looking at this for fantasy football analysis, Miles Sanders has been out. It feels like forever. It feels like forever because you're just watching camp clips all day of all these teams. To me, it feels like forever. He's also a veteran. Javonte Williams has been healthy. Jaydon Blue is not back yet. Right now, by default, Javonte Williams is the guy. We still got a lot to play out. We've got 2 preseason games, some practices, camps wrapping up. Soon they'll be back at Dallas. We'll have less access to this team. Things could change. Javonte Williams is going double-digit rounds in fantasy because everyone's speculating, trying to find the guy. Jaydon Blue's an upside pick. Nobody's touching Miles Sanders really in fantasy. When you're looking at underdog draft ADP, that's best ball data. You're talking home league drafts, who to hitch your wagon to. If you're drafting closer to the start of the season, you're kind of just waiting. Right now, by default, it's Javonte as the guy. Jaydon Blue's your upside piece if things unravel. Or if there's injuries, which would be part of unraveling. Jaydon Blue's your upside piece due to him being a rookie, being more ambiguous, more unknown. Not much of a gamble with how cheap he is in drafts. One of your last picks. The 4.3 speed, explosiveness. That injury keeps the cost down as he's projected to be back sooner than later. That's something to look at because he was starting to pump up in value a little bit. On underdog drafts, home league drafts a little bit different. People are very safe with rookies, safe with backup running backs, upside plays, lottery ticket plays, not patient. If you're not patient, then maybe a lottery ticket play isn't best for you in the back end of your drafts. If you can't realize that one or two spots on your bench is there for a lottery ticket, and you want guys who are scoring points that make you feel good even though you're not using them, then you do not want to go for a lottery ticket too. Then you want to go with somebody with some substance in that area, kind of like an Austin Eckler. But you're probably not going to start him much because as you're that deep in the draft, you already got your running backs, you already got your wide receivers. That's something to pay attention to. But you're shooting for that upside just in case they cash hard. And there's a lot of running backs in that range that can cash hard. A lot of them. This ain't the video for that. Javonte Williams, though. Looks like he's going to be the guy in Dallas. Looks like he's going to be the man as of today. And things are pointing up. He's looking smooth. Smooth out there with good vision, finding the lane. We'll see how he looks like in game, though. We'll see how this offensive line trends out. The big thing for this team is staying healthy. Staying healthy, especially with the offensive line. If the offensive line can get back together with Guyton, stay healthy, be efficient with Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, connect on those big moments when they need those big moments, and get a little bit more expected with the running backs. Play higher than expectations just by a smidge. They'll be in some good dogfights this year. If injuries unravel on the offensive line, Dak in and out of lineup, or anything like that happening, something happening to one of the stars, Pickens or Lamb, that could be one of those Cowboys years where you're like, going throughout the season. There's also a chance here where a lot of people are looking at Dallas with a lot of question marks, where they could exceed expectations, especially if they can capitalize some of these dogfights in the NFC East. As the NFC East is trending up, you're looking at Commanders with Daniels. Saw what the Eagles done. That's obvious. But again, they got to stay healthy. That offensive line has to do well and play better than what people are expecting. That's a tough ask. But staying healthy is part of the game. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.